Okay, everybody's here. I don't see anybody else coming in. It's just about time. We will get started. Good afternoon and welcome to our weekly news conference sponsored by Georgia Power. Well, no share, no doubt. Bears took care of business on Saturday, as I'm sure most all of you were here. 63-17 over Chattanooga. Rankings are out just a few moments ago. Mercer now number 6 in the coaches poll, number 7 stats per form. School win streak to 9 games, 12 straight SoCon game wins. First team since 2022 to finish SoCon play unbeaten, and the first team in 16 years to win back-to-back outright SoCon titles. So we got a lot to talk about today. Coach will share all that with you. And the players that had outstanding games, but just one tidbit about Braden Atkinson, who broke 3 school records on Saturday for season, but his passing yardage is now 3,243. That's not only tops in the LCS, that's tops FBS also. So Braden has more passing yardage than any quarterback in the country. Having said that, Coach, it's all yours.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate y'all. Certainly a big weekend for Mercer football and Mercer University. I just quickly want to thank, all of our faculty, staff, our alumni for coming back, right? We had a huge weekend. It was homecoming, a little bit later than usual to have a homecoming game, but, had a bunch of folks back for that. We had some important people go into our Hall of Fame here at Mercer that were back for that, and then certainly just all of our alumni and friends that were around, and they made for one hell of a game day atmosphere for us. So really appreciative for the support that showed up for our team, and our team showed up for them. I think really all week we were talking about making sure that there was no doubt who the champion in the conference was, and it was really important for us, as always it is, to play well, but to be ready to play physically and, more importantly, mentally and emotionally. And our kids did that from really the beginning. As I work kind of through the 3 phases offensively, other than really the first drive there where we had the unfortunate pick, we played well. I think we scored touchdowns on 8 of the next 10 series. Our young quarterback obviously continues to play, not just at, again, an all-conference level, but in my opinion, an All-American and Walter Camp type level, with how he reads defenses, how he delivers the football, and just what he's able to do. And, but it was also good. Not only did we throw the ball well, we ran the ball for 212 yards. I think we averaged 7.5 yards per carry on the day. CJ Miller had a big day rushing. He was just under 100 rushing. Also had another about 40 yards in receptions. He did well. Ty Doty added a rushing touchdown. DJ Smith got in the action and had a rushing touchdown. And we really didn't have many negative yards. Again, to me, that's an indicator that you're playing physical. We had more knockdown blocks in this game than I think we'd had in a single game, and we had them at all 3 levels, so the physicality was there. Big day in our wide receiver room. Wide receiver and tight end room. Obviously, Malik Simmons had 2 touchdowns on the day. The first big touchdown to kind of get us rolling and go up 21 there, or 21-3 in the first quarter. But Donis McDaniel had 1 touchdown, had 6 catches on the day, but had some really contested catches. His touchdown was contested. That was a great catch. And then really the one that got us inside the 5-yard line, they really interfered with him twice on the same play, which is a little unique. And he still came down with the ball and set us up for our next score. So, all in all, really productive day. I think we were something like 15-18 or something like that on 3rd down. So about as good as you can get there on 3rd down. We held the ball longer than they did. We had 30 minutes in time of possession. And again, just really, really did some good things that way. Defensively, really dominant through most of the game. I think they had under 100 total yards of offense going into the 4th quarter. They had right at 50 yards of total offense at halftime. They were 0 of 8 at halftime on 3rd down, and I think they finished 1 of 15 on 3rd down for the day. So, and we turned the ball over. We took it away, I think, 3 times on the day. 2 interceptions, and then Zach had a big fumble recovery, and we dislodged it 1 other time. So, I think the thing that stood out most from the defense, again, they felt like that's a really prideful group, didn't feel like they had played their best game at Western Carolina, and it was really important for them to establish the temperament and the tone early in the game, and they played downhill all day. I thought our defensive line was dominant, and Jordan Swain played really well. Zoc had a big day. Dan Hicks is a senior who transferred in, but you're seeing him play his best football. He had a sack and a half day for us, and so they really set the temperament and the tone. Our linebackers played well, continue to play well all season. You think all the way back to the start, the big question mark was, who's going to replace all those tackles in that room? And I think Drew Clare and Julian Fox and Isaac Prince, who play in that room, have unequivocally proven that they are more than capable of not just withholding the standard, but hopefully moving it forward. And then we finally got some interceptions and affected the ball multiple times in the air, and that was good to see. Special teams wise, only punted the ball twice. But John McConnell averaged 47 yards on his punts, had 2 inside the 20, 1 downed on the 1 yard line. That set us up with a short field. It was a great play by Fabian Scott, our gunner, to down it there on the half-inch line. And then Reese Griffin was 9-9 on extra points. I think he had 6 touchbacks on the day and 1 fair catch. So really a complete game victory and one that I thought stood out as one of our better performances because although the outcome was a little bit one-sided, I do believe Chattanooga's a really solid football team still and has a talented roster, but we played well on Saturday. And so just proud of our kids, obviously accomplished all the things, the defended outright championship, the undefeated regular season and conference play. I believe we should be a team that has a top 8 seed in a first round bye. I'll continue to be the town crier on that until everything's said and done next Sunday. But this team is really playing well. They're a lot of fun to coach, and I'm excited about the next really the next month or so. So with that, I'll open it up for questions from anybody.
Coach, you talk about wanting to buy, getting to buy, but do you feel like the SoCon should be a 2-bid league this year? I know there are so many really good FCS conferences, but it seems like this is a league where you really could get 2 teams in.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still in contention. I mean, Western is good enough to be in the mix, in my opinion, but as this league's proven, it's tough. And with their loss to ETSU last weekend, I don't know, that's not my business, but it makes it tough, I think, at this point. But do I think we're competitive enough? Do I think they're good enough to win a playoff game? Absolutely.
And then, you talked about in your open, a lot of seniors having a really big performance. It felt like they were all over the field. Just after all the work they've put in, whether they've come in or been here for 4 years, just how big was it seeing them get their own shining moments on the field on Saturday?
Sure. I mean, it goes back to you always want to have your best year, your senior year, and you're seeing guys like Swain, you're seeing guys like Drew Clare, Dan Hicks, and Tommy Bliss that are playing at a really high level. And playing well. Xavier Jennings, again, I think Xavier Jennings is the best offensive lineman in the conference, and he's playing extremely well. That was, I think, our 7th game in a row without a sack. So, and they twisted nearly every pass play. Our interior 3 really played well offensive line-wise. So, yeah, man, it's great to see them accomplish that. I mean, that's what we want. We want them to be the best version of themselves when they leave here, and it's a lot of fun to see them get to have that success and enjoy those moments. That's why we do it.
Especially for guys like Malik and X, who you've seen for a few years now. I'm sure that's even more special to be like, I believed in them, and then now they're just producing at the highest level.
I mean, those are guys that we, not a ton of people recruited for whatever reason. And, they ended up with us at Lenoir Rhine, and we've been able to continue and really finish their careers here at Mercer. And, X has been with me, or Xavier Jennings has been with me for 6 years. Malik's been with me for, 5 now or 4? But we've been knowing him for 5 years. And so, any time that the relationship is longer than just a minute, it's cool. And to know that not just them, but their families had the trust in us that we're going to have their best interests at heart and take good care of them. Doesn't mean it's easy. Like, I get after guys. Sometimes they probably think more so to the LR guys because I expect a lot from them.
And as a coach, how do you go about building those relationships with players, with families, with things like that? Because I know in this sport, especially now, relationships are everything almost.
Yeah, I try to do my best to connect with people. I think they'll tell you that whether they want to hear it or not, I'm extremely truthful, sometimes most of the time more blunt than they'd probably like it for me to be. But I think when you tell them the truth and you're you have realistic expectations of what the goal are and what the habits are going to be to get there, you can coach kids hard. And I think just being consistent that way. I think most kids look back after they've played for me and say, man, that guy was tough to play for. But then once they reflect on it, they're like, no, man, he held me accountable and he held our teammates accountable to the standard that was needed to win a championship and play and compete. And I think it means more when you do things at a high level. And I hope that's what they say about it, but that's how I perceive it. But connectivity, communication, it's just like any relationship. It's not perfect. I've certainly made mistakes along the way with kids and their families, but trying to be honest, trying to be truthful, and really just trying to put their best interests at heart, even when they don't realize that's what's best for them in the moment, right? It's like parenting.
And then for you, you said 12 hours after the game, you're just going to enjoy it and celebrate it. Obviously, no victory cigar, but how did you end up celebrating that evening and into the night?
Yeah, well, we had we had an official visit. They moved up to signing day, so we had a number of visitors in June, but then we had our last official visit this past Saturday, so it was good to have those families and those kids on campus. But after that dinner, I went home and I sat in the quiet, man. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot with the game and homecoming and the pep rally and the official visits. We put the kids to bed, and my wife and I, we watched kind of the recap of the day's highlights from the other college football games and just relaxed a little bit. And it was pretty quiet. But that's where I'm at in my life. Maybe I've gone out in a future or a previous lifetime, but at home in the quiet. I'm the guy who rides around without the radio on in my car because those are like the 15 minutes a piece of my day, right? So it's good to have a little bit of quiet every now and again.
So you don't listen to like any music pregame? You don't have anything in like headphones or earbuds or anything? You don't have like a song that you would go to?
No. Bring my own juice, man. I'm intrinsically motivated just to get going.
Thought I was the only one. Well, being in front of the Hall of Fame class, homecoming weekend, you said so much history, obviously back-to-back conference championships. What does this mean to you personally? Like, just to be, you might be a future Hall of Fame member now.
I don't know, man. I'm not like, that means I'm getting old if you start talking about that kind of stuff, right? Like, Notre Dame College shut down, so I'm their all-time winningest coach. No one can take that from me. It's cemented. But listen, I enjoy watching the kids have those moments with their teammates, with their families, our coaches' family. Like, listen, this is a tight-knit group. I know we talk about it, but, like, you can see it and feel it. A lot of you guys were there, man. Like, our kids are running all over the field. Like, I enjoy that. That's what I enjoy the most. I like to win. We work really hard. I'd rather win than lose every day of the week. I hate losing. And so when you're able to do it and you're able to do it with the consistency that we've had, it's just a lot of fun. I enjoy coming to work every day here.
What's standing out to you this weekend about Auburn? Obviously, they've kind of had a run of form since they made their coaching change and quarterback change. It seems like they're really kind of turning the corner late in the season.
Yeah, they're playing better football. Again, once they moved on from Coach Freeze, DJ Durkin took over, and that guy was a head coach in the Big Ten at Maryland, and he's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. So the defense has played pretty well all year. When he put it on, just like what you'd expect of a $20 million roster or whatever they got. Like, they got guys that can run at all three levels in all three phases. They compete. They're physical. And it's what you'd expect an SEC team to look like.
How does this kind of atmosphere at Jordan-Hare compare to something like Brian Denny from last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's big time college football. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than a Power Four conference in the SEC on their turf in November. So, a lot of our kids grew up wanting to play in the SEC. It's a big moment for them. But it's still a game, and we're going to do our best to have a great week of practice and show up and play our best football.
What are your thoughts on, I've seen kind of some folks talk about this, what are your thoughts on this game being the last game on the schedule? How do you approach it as a coach? Would you rather it be earlier maybe, or does that not you?
I don't know. It's the next game for me. Like, I know that's a little bit of coach speak, but I try not to. It's just who's there, and the schedule was made before I got here, so we're just going to show up and go to work on it. But the question that people get is like, the mindfulness piece of it is like, I think we have a team that can make some noise in the NCAA playoffs this year, and when you play up a division the last week, you got to be somewhat mindful of your health, and so, but conversely, the kids deserve the right to play on the big stage and have that moment. With roster limitations, it's not like we got enough guys just to roll, subs out there. So we're going to show up and we're going to play football. And I think that's, managing that's the big thing.
And this might be looking ahead a little to after that game, but you guys probably watch Selection Sunday. Do you just cheer no matter where you are on the bracket? Or I know you talked about the bye week a little.
Yeah, I mean, we're in. Listen, like, to be in and to know you're in is something that's pretty good. It's a great feeling, okay? So, yeah, we're going to cheer because we're excited because we get another opportunity, not just to play, but to be together for at least another week. Now, whether that week happens Thanksgiving Saturday, that weekend, or whether it happens after with the bye, we're going to be excited to play football regardless.
Does bringing in Tennessee Tech to the league kind of change? I mean, I know you don't have a lot of control over the schedule, but does that kind of help the way that you build your schedule, have another competitive team to play against instead of, say, maybe going to an FBS school or maybe one less non-conference game?
Listen, I'm all for the SoCon. I want whatever the league does that puts the league in best position to be one of the top leagues in the country. I'm all for that. And when you add a top 5 team, I'm all for that. We like to play in big games. That's why we do this. And if you don't, then you shouldn't be doing it. And so, they've done a great, Coach Wilder's done a great job there. That guy's won everywhere he's been. And I think the more impressive thing is, hey, listen, they're going to come right into this league and they're probably going to be in the top 2 or 3 in terms of resources committed to winning. They are serious, and all that does is it forces us to play better, and it forces other people in our league to step up or get left behind. And ultimately, it makes the conference stronger, and what's good for the conference should be good for Mercer.
Well, speaking of next Sunday, I know you don't care who you play, but you're looking forward to a big game. So is there somebody that you would want to play? Is there somebody?
Nah, man. Listen. Whoever's in it, you're going to get a great game, right? And regardless, I think we'll end up being at home, which I think is a good thing. And it's really the next person. I want a path that we can see, and it's 1 week at a time, but you're in the dance, and that's all that matters. You got a chance.
Okay, anything else for Coach?
Good?
Oh, good.
Thank you all. I appreciate you.
All right, how I like to share numbers with you. As he's sitting down, and we'll give you one more number. Of the Division I coaches, if you're looking at winning percentages, has been a head coach for at least 7 years. The updated numbers, Ryan Day is first at Ohio State at 88.8. Kalen DeBoer at Alabama is second at 87.14. Kirby Smart is third at 85.07. And number 4 is Mike Jacobs at 81.74. So just thought I'd throw that out. All right, let's go to our players now. Defensive line. Coach talked about relationships. I got to know this guy when he came to campus in 2020. Jordan Swain, a redshirt senior from Brunswick. On the season, he's got 29 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 2 pass breakups, 9 quarterback hurries, and a huge safety last week at Western Carolina. Jordan, come up, tell us how the season's going and how excited you guys are moving forward.
How y'all doing? Thank you for having me. First off, just to echo Coach Jacobs, we accomplished something great last Saturday. Thank you to all the coaches, all the teammates, all the faculty, all the support, all the fans, everybody who had a hand, helping us accomplish this great task. And with that, I'll kind of open it up for questions.
Jordan, to go back to back in the FCS playoffs, that's hard for a lot of teams to do, especially in the field of 24. How special is that for you to be a part of?
That's big time, man. Coming into college, 2020, that was the goal off rip. Before we got here, Mercer was kind of struggling. And then since then, every year I've been here, we've just been kind of building and building and building. And so to see all that come to a fruition and come to a head and know that it's going to continue after me, that's a big time deal. And I'm happy for it, and I'm thankful for it. And I'm glad that I had a hand in playing or laying the foundation and starting to build a structure of the house, you know what I mean? And so that's really nice.
What do you credit that change to over the last 3, even 5 years that you've been here?
I think you're just building a culture. I think it takes time. I think you have to have guys who are bought in and committed. And then once you do have those guys, you have to keep those guys educating the younger guys who come in. And that's how you build that culture. That's how you keep building that foundation, if you will. And you just keep going. You keep it moving, and you keep striving.
You've had a lot of big plays on defense this year, from week 0, your big field goal block against Davis, to even last weekend, and even the weekend before against Western with big safety. Was there one moment so far this season that's been a highlight for you, or a really special moment?
No, I think really just going into every game, okay, this is one of my last chances. This is one of my last chances. One of my last chances. Keeping that perspective on it and going in and playing my best football, knowing that I have the most experience I've ever had. Coach Long said something. Make this the best game you've ever played because it's the next game. This is the most experience you've ever been, and I kind of take that to heart, and I like that saying, and that's just kind of the mindset that I think the whole defensive line room as it has, and the whole team has, and so yeah.
Will this be your second or third time going to Auburn?
This will be my second.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite place to play. I like their atmosphere, their energy, their stands, their fans. The first time we went and played, I don't know if y'all remember, but we had a weather delay. And it was monsoon and it was coming down. And when we finally went back out there, it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours later. I thought the stadiums were going to be empty, but nah, they were still riled up. They were still, yelling, cheering. And so that was a big time moment for us.
What are you hoping to accomplish for the rest of the season? Obviously, I'm sure a championship in Nashville is really on everyone's mind, but is there something else you personally are looking to do in your last month or so here in a orange and black uniform?
To keep playing my best ball. I feel like this year is the best I've played. I feel like this year is, like I keep saying, the most experienced I've been. And with that comes higher expectations for myself and higher expectations for my team for me to step up. And so obviously, Nashville would be nice at the end, but there's still a lot of steps to get there. And so you just got to keep taking those steps one by one. And that's what I plan to do.
Coach put the kids to bed. Did you guys do anything special?
All right, so I'm the resident old guy in the locker room too. I definitely took me about an hour and a half of just myself kind of laying down. And by that time, I was like, all right, so there's stuff to do where I can lay down here, and I just kind of chilled for the rest of the evening. I ain't do a whole lot, so yeah, got to rest the body up.
How did that victory cigar feel on Saturday?
It felt good, man. It's always good when you can kind of take those minutes to relax and just kind of decompress, you know what I mean? Smile and run around with your friends and your family and just, hug the guys and, all the work that you put in, kind of see it come to fruition. And then, like Coach Jacobs says, take those 12 hours and now you got to suit back up. Now you got to, lock it back in, tighten it back up. So, yeah.
Does this game, obviously playing on the road against the Tigers, does this help you going into the playoffs at all? I mean, this kind of matchup, because this is obviously, maybe it's not a big time game for them, but it's helping talent-wise going into the playoffs. You think that?
I've actually been going back and forth, like, how do I feel about this game? And I've come to the point where I do think it's a good thing for us to play them at the end of the season, because for one, we're experienced. We have the whole season under our belt now. We know, who we are as a team and where our strengths and our weaknesses are. And I think, going into or playing the FBS team before the playoffs, that's going to be, one of the highest levels of talent that you see. Not saying that we're going back down a level for the playoffs, but once you play somebody like in Auburn with the SEC team, it's kind of like, okay, we've been here before. And so I think that'll be a good experience for us going in and playing them and, just giving them our best shot.
Well, building on that, been there before. Like you said, you've been to the FCS playoffs before. So how hungry are you now, to make a deeper run?
Hungry.
These past 2 years.
Definitely hungry. We're in the best position we've been since we've been in the playoffs. And I feel like if any time was the time, this is the time. We have a team that's hungry. We have old guys that are hungry. We have young guys that are hungry. And we're connecting as a team. We're clicking together as a team in all three phases. And we still haven't played our best ball yet, in my opinion. We got, even if it's small nitpicky things that we can fix, there's always something that you can fix. And once we kind of put it all together and play that full 100% capability of which we're playing, I feel like we'll be something special. So, yeah.
You mentioned being the old guy in the locker room. You see a lot of young guys, hungry guys, like you mentioned, stepping up this year. How special is that for you to just kind of watch, like, man, I'm having an impact on these guys. I'm watching these guys grow in real time.
That's really special because as much as I have an impact on them, they have an impact on me. And so seeing them come out and, the hunger in their eyes and wanting to get better every day and wanting to have an impact on the team, it's like, okay, they're putting in work. Let me put in my own work, you know what I mean? And vice versa. They see me like, okay, this guy's on his way out, but he's still working. Let me put in my own work so I can get in his shoes. And so it's a full collective team effort. And I think that's definitely put us in a position where we are now.
What was it like Saturday when obviously the offense had that interception and the defense came up huge, so I had that big fumble recovery. What was it like for, I guess, the defensive unit to kind of step up and have the first touch in the game?
Well, that's our identity. We start games, we finish games. we like to be dominant. Like Coach Jacobs mentioned, that game at Western wasn't our best showing. And so the mission all week was kind of go out there and put our best film on tape. Let's go do what we're capable of. And so even after that first interception on the first drive, we were like, okay, this is nothing new. Like, this is what we do. This is what we're built for. And then we never lost faith in the offense at all. He's like, okay, they slipped one time. Let's go have their back just like they've had our back many times before. And that's how you see the ball get rolling. You know, they play off of us. We play off of them. Special teams plays off of everybody. So, yeah.
Okay, anything else from Jordan? Great job, appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having me.
All right, let's go to the offensive side of the ball. As we know, Braden Atkinson has completed passes to a lot of receivers. Tight ends are a big factor in that, and we love our Lenore-Ryan connection. And just know when Malik Simmons catches the football, he scores 40% of the time. 4 of his catches, 10 catches, 4 touchdowns. Malik, come on up.
Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you guys for having me again, and open the floor for any questions.
Malik, when you score touchdowns, you throw up the X. I think the last time you were here, you mentioned you were a Cowboys fan. Is that in honor of Des Bryant?
Yeah, growing up, I definitely watched him a lot. That was my favorite player to watch. Growing up, I was a receiver / tight end, kind of similar to how I am now. So anytime I make a big play, or definitely when I score a touchdown, I throw up the X.
What's the significance behind your nickname, X Factor? How'd you get that?
Just growing up, always being in the mix when the game is in crunch time, always making that play to get us rolling or to finish it and end it all. So that's just kind of where that name came from. And then, of course, Des Bryant being your favorite player and throwing up the X kind of helped that out too.
You've won championships, obviously, and you guys have done well in the D2 level. You come here, win another championship. How does this one compare to other ones? Is this one more special to you, or is it just, hey, it's another trophy, we get to lift it up? Just kind of talk about how special it is for you.
I would love to say just anytime you get a ring is special, no matter what level it is. Of course, I'm loving this one a little more because it's the most recent one, and it's special to me as we speak. But when it's all said and done, they're all just as special.
And then I know your family wasn't here on Saturday for Senior Day, but what was their message to you? Did they give you a phone call? Did they kind of just give you something before a game? Is there something you call your mom, you call your parents, you do something to just kind of just put yourself in a kind of locked in for the game? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, always just, make sure they text me some type of encouragement. I know that they want to be here so badly, and I definitely wish they were here this week. But they always, FaceTime me, call me, just make sure they let me know, like, I love you, good luck, all that good things, and that always prepares me for the game.
And is this going to be your first time playing in an FBS level environment on Saturday?
Yes.
You looking forward to it?
Definitely looking forward to it.
Being from Ohio, obviously, east side of Cleveland guy, would you have wanted to play in the Horseshoe at some point down in Columbus?
100%. Not even a question. Of course, that was the plan growing up, and I definitely would have loved something like that. But playing at Auburn is not too bad a substitute.
Well, what are you looking forward to most this Saturday, at Jordan Air in this atmosphere your first time?
Oh, just another opportunity to play ball, another opportunity to make plays, help the team out where I can, and showcase my talent.
What do you think of this being your last game? Kind of similar question when I asked Jordan, like building momentum going into the playoffs.
Well,
Do you like it being the last game against this kind of FBS talent as you go to the playoffs, preparing you for the playoffs, or do you think it shouldn't be at the end of the year?
Well, I kind of similar thought process as Swain, just more so like I think it's actually nice that it's the last game, just because it braces us for what's to come, and lets us figure out where we're at as a team going against I guess you could say another opponent that is considered a higher level. So I just think that it gets us ready for the playoffs. So I think it'd be perfect where it's at.
You gonna throw up the X if you score a touchdown?
100%. 100%.
40% touchdown rate this season, only 10 catches. I know earlier in the year you're like, I'd love to score, but were you expecting to score 4 touchdowns this year?
I knew it was coming. I knew my time was coming. Actually, it's funny that you say that because at Lenore-Ryan, I had a similar stat. I had a 50% touchdown to reception rate. So definitely, I was just waiting for my time to come, and thank God for it to come.
Your first one was like, it wasn't just a little short route into the end zone. It was like you got out in open field and you were just bursting through. You know, was that just like special for you to just kind of be like, I'm almost there, I'm there. What was that? Just walk me through what was going through your mind in that moment.
Well, just looking at the defense and the play that we caught, I kind of figured that I was 9 times out of 10 going to be the throw. And when Braden made that perfect pass to me and I seen nothing but grass, I was excited.
And playing with a guy like Braden Atkinson, he's made history this year, and to be a part of that, that's got to be pretty cool for you, right?
Oh, yes. Playing with a guy like him who's playing at the level that he's playing at his young age is amazing. And then being one of the guys to help him make history, that's amazing. Because, he's definitely done a lot for this program and hopefully will do so in the future.
If I gave you $20 and told you to go anywhere in Cleveland to get food, where are you thinking? What's your number one go-to spot?
Let's see, you give me
Too many of
20.
these Cleveland questions, I'm sorry, but I have to ask.
$20. I'm thinking 81st. I'm gonna go 81st in Delhi.
Is that over in Bedford?
No. That's out in is that over there by Superior in East Cleveland?
Okay.
Where are you going, man?
Yeah, where are you going?
I would probably go to Swenson's, get like a galley boy, some like fried mushrooms, get a shake, something like. You a big Swenson's guy too?
I wouldn't mind Swanson's either. That sounds pretty good.
What's your go-to thing at 81st and Superior? What do you get there usually?
Anything between like a sub, corned beef, anything of that nature.
Corned beef sandwiches are pretty darn good in Cleveland too. So
Yeah,
go along with it.
can't go wrong with the corned beef sandwich.
So explain this ride. What it's been like with Coach Jacobs over these few years? Like, what's it been like for you?
It's been amazing. He makes sure to push me in every aspect that he can, and we've built a good relationship along the years, and just an understanding of one another. When you stay with the same coach for as long as I have, you kind of pick up each other's tendencies and basically know what to expect and know what you'll get out of one another. And just to see him grow, and I know for him to see me grow, has just been an amazing ride.
Malik, we've scored a couple touchdowns already earlier this year on a similar pass right down the middle of the field. Did your eyes light up on Saturday when you heard that play called in the huddle?
So actually, at first when it was called, I didn't know if it was gonna come to me. I say my eyes didn't light up till I seen what the defense was in, and then once I seen what the defense is in, I was like, okay, this gonna be one. This gonna be the one.
Okay, anything else for Malik? Thank you, sir.